time. Let me see and make sure I mute everyone. Hold on, mute all. Mute so that everybody. So today is so thank you everyone for coming on. This is our diamond call that we have every bi-weekly. So it's pretty much everyone on here ideally should be an Emerald coach. If you're not, make it a goal to get there at least if you're on this call then. But for the most part, you should be an Emerald coach if you're on this. And we have the very special Artina who's here to answer our questions. So I hope you guys came with questions because I think it's really important, that we hear from people who are where we want to be, all of us, and just people who are inspiring us and pushing us. And I know, Artina, is so gracious. I know this morning she was on the National Wake Up Call, which is super, super exciting. And I know for those of us, we're like, that's incredibly inspiring on some of our vision boards, but just really, really motivating. And so I want to thank her for still taking time for us this evening to come and chat with us and really just share her knowledge and, her inspiration and her wisdom in a sense, or just kind of what she's learned thus far in growing her business. And I guess we'll see what everyone or what questions people have. I have questions just in case, it doesn't people don't have questions, but I wanted to just, open it up. And Artina, if you're okay with that, or, we'll just kind of open it up and start it there that way. And, we can just kind of have like a dialogue and a flow go. I think most of you should know Artina. Artina, if you want to give like a quick just background on yourself, like a couple minutes.
Okay. I would say by show of hands, like who listened to the National Wake Up Call this morning? Have you guys had a chance to listen in? Woo woo! Yeah. I was so nervous, but it turned out really, really good. I was like, hold on, we're about to start now. My stomach hurt. So I don't want to repeat a whole lot. But I have been in a business for 2 years, and this has been my only source of income, my only job. I used to be a federal law enforcement officer, and I am basically one of those people who you are following up with over and over and over again, who is like, I'm not drinking your shake. I'm not joining no beach body. This is not, no. Keep inviting her, because that was me, and homegirl just followed up on the right day at the right time, and it's funny because it wasn't just her who invited me. There were other coaches in my area who invited me, but they didn't follow up. They invited me like a while ago. They might have said happy birthday. But this girl was like, happy birthday. Oh, my God, you just had a baby. Like, oh, my gosh, you just moved to Charlotte. Like, oh, my goodness, you got your hair cut. What color dye is? I mean, when I go back and look, I was like, she was really like, she's coachable. Like, she's not coaching anymore. I know she wish now she should have just stayed at it. But just looking, I was like, she really was forming. Like, she really was doing what she was supposed to do. And she just hit me up on the right day at the right time. And I said, I'm not going back to law enforcement. It seemed like a solution. Not necessarily too good to be true, but more so like, okay, if they can do it, why not me? And so there was no plan B. And a lot of people ask, why have I had so much success in such a short period of time? It's because I didn't have another option. And when you don't have your spouse's paycheck and you have a 9-to-5, and I got it cute if you're going to take pictures, 70. And you have a 9-to-5 and things are going good and your bills are on time, you hustle different. And I always tell people, like, if you think about how much your business would have grown by now had you given this business the same amount of effort you give your 9-to-5, you give your boss. Like, your boss comes in and say, okay, Chelsea, you need to read policies 1 through whatever by this day, and you need to sign up 3 people, and you need to put 2 people over here and 2 people over there, and if not, you don't have a job on Sunday. We gonna get it done. So the hustle is just different. So that's just been one of my things, and 2 years later, I've surpassed that income. I have a growing, thank you, Irene. I have a growing team. And like I said on the call, I don't have all the answers. Like I'm still trying to find my way, but what has helped me is being consistent and just maybe 10xing, really like going in. If they say invite 3, I invite 20. Like, I just knew that I didn't want the average, I didn't want the average success. I want a big, big success. but I knew with big success, what you cooking, Emily? I knew with big success meant big actions. And so 2 years, I've gone between 5 and 6, but sometimes I'm a stable 5. Like I said, I have a growing team, and I feel like I'm finally getting to a place where business is flowing. But we know when that happens, there's always going to be something, Instagram changes, Facebook changes. It used to be posting 3 times a day. Now it's posting everything changes. But I understand that's just the business. And I feel like I could definitely have been further along in my business. And that's crazy to say, because people say, well, you've been in the business for 2 years and you're 5-star. How can you say that? I honestly think I could have been 10. But my first year, I didn't invite to the business because I was scared. I didn't post about the business because I was almost ashamed because I said I'd never joined Team Beachbody. So ashamed for maybe the first month. I kind of worried about what people are going to think. I didn't want to be that person who I blocked. Worry about if I'm following up too much. Am I posting too much about fitness? But once I let that go and stop worrying so much about other people, I'm these people ain't paying my bills. These people, my kids aren't dependent on these people. They're dependent on me. Once I let go of that and didn't give a rat's what they thought, my business began to take off. But I and it's a learning experience, right? Or I would get demotivated. I would be on the road. I'm sending these invites, and I have 5 girls say they're going to enroll on Friday at 5:12 p.m. And then at 5:10, they're send the enrollment. And then at 5:12, I don't hear from them again, ever. They go ghost, right? Or I sign up that bomb coach. I'm thank you, God. I finally found one. And then she go missing, just straight missing. And it used to demotivate me. Can I really do this? What am I just questioning myself? And I tell my coaches, and you probably heard this, that the business is somewhat like an escalator, and the escalator is going down and you're going up, right? But for me, my first year, when people wouldn't do what they said they were going to do, I would kind of slow down. So I'm going down with the escalator. But I can't help think if I would have just kept going and got beyond the invites and the fear and the worrying about what people are going to think, I could have been at the top. And the top is not where I'm at. I have way bigger goals. So just looking back, I'm still scared to do some things, It's just that my mindset is different. I'm what's the worst going to happen? What are they going to do? Jump to the phone and just pop me in the face? What's really going to happen by me sending these invites? Either they want to do it or they don't. And then if they block me, then great. Now that's one less person I got to worry about. That's okay. It ain't for you. So yeah, I know that was a lot. I'm passionate. I get really excited and real happy about the business. So this morning I talked about just finding who I want to attract to the business and how to go about doing it and how to attract people who aren't necessarily attracted to you and this business. They know about it, but they're just no. And so I talked about running kind of an open sneak peek on my Facebook page every day, along with giving value in my posts. I made it a mission to kind of debunk those myths and kind of answer questions openly. You heard me say on the National Wake Up Call, I actually wrote down all the misconceptions that I could think of. And then once a day, I would just pick one and just kind of put it in there in my post. It was, when people had questions, I wasn't hey, let's get in the inbox and talk. We talk openly under that post. And I have people who come to me now who are just oh, I know everything because they've watched me. And, don't get caught up in the likes and comments. As a new coach, for me, I used to stalk my posts, especially if I didn't pour my heart into it. And I know it's a bomb post. I'm one like. And then I go back and it's 10 comments, but they're all my coaches sharing me love. I'm what? Don't get caught up in that because people are watching. You ever read a text message but responded in your mind? Or you saw a post that was hilarious and you're oh my God, that is so funny. And it would have took you 2 seconds to hit the laughing button, but you kept scrolling. Same thing. And even when we're following up, because I talked about on the call, getting out of your emotions, a lot of my coaches are well, I don't want to feel like I'm bothering. Well, a lot of people don't even have Messenger installed on their phone unless they're a Beachbody coach. And a lot of people don't check Messenger like we do. I'm could it be that she was getting groceries out the car and looked at it and wanted to respond but didn't? Or maybe she was in traffic and opened it but didn't watch the video. So how, what is it going to do to you? What is it going to take away from you? Just say, hey girl, did you get a chance to watch the quick video? Or hey girl, did you get my last message? Or I'll say, hey girl, I want to feel like I'm bothering you, but you were so excited. Like, what's up? Like, what's holding you back? I always say that. So yeah, getting out of your emotions and taking that fear, and that's how I was. So I always preach that from experience. I feel like like I say, it'd be a lot further along, but here I am. And I feel like maybe God put me through that so I can be an example for my team to say what not to do. So I am going to open up for questions. I do have a potty training child who is diaperless that may come across the screen at some point. He still thinks he's breastfeeding, even though it's been like 4 or 5 months. I got new boobies thanks to Beachbody, and so he's like obsessed with them. So he will jump up and do things. So it's okay. So that's my disclaimer. A disclaimer for tonight. So Stephanie, you had questions.
I did, but let me see who has questions, because I want to make sure. I just kind of had them just in case other people don't. Chelsea. So Chelsea, go ahead, Chelsea.
Hey, Chelsea, girl.
Are we surprised? Okay, so hey, I love you. You came on one of our team calls last year, and ever since I've been like secretly, like I see you at events, I'm like, yeah.
You don't speak. You never said nothing.
No, I just stand behind Stephanie while she talks to you, and I'm like, love that girl.
I'm a hugger, so I hope you're okay with that. I'm a hugger. I touch her, grab her. So
okay, next time, well, I'll probably warn you first, but okay, so my question is, I love, like, I've heard your story a couple times now. You are like one of the people that sometimes I'll refer to when I'm talking about how sometimes when you're at like your lowest, that's when you are the most successful, because you have like nothing to fall back on. And I love that. But I'm a teacher, so I don't really attract those people that much. I usually attract other teachers who have like a full-time job. So my question for you what would be like your top 3 non-negotiable activities every day that you do? Like if you only had time for 3 activities, what would you say are the most 3 important things?
Hosting, inviting, and following up.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And I say following would come first. Following up would come first, just because there's fortune in follow up. The invite is just sowing the seed. So I just make it my mission. Like I'm going to follow up with any and everybody. And then I'll go through and I'll invite, because it's kind of like an assembly line. You post, you like my post, we're like cyber BFFs by then. I send you the invite, I follow up, and we kind of go in that circle. But always, even if you have to like wake up 30 minutes early, instead of like scrolling, Facebook like it's the daily newspaper, go ahead and just get those follow-ups in if you don't do anything else. And one thing that I recommend for people who are super busy is you can do a power hour where you sit down and do everything. You can do power pockets. You guys know about power pockets. You can do it that way. Or on Mondays, just send invites. And on Tuesdays, just follow up with everybody. And on Wednesdays, send out your friend requests. And then on Thursdays, plan, your CTA or whatever. Like, make it to fit your lifestyle. Like, what, may work for Emily and Irene may not work for you. So figure out what's going to, like, work for your schedule. And I would say do that.
That's funny. I've never heard that, like, do one thing per day. That's actually a pretty good idea. Okay, one more question. How did you grow your Instagram following? Was it just organic, or do you use any of the, like, tricks that other people do?
Girl, I use everything, so let me tell you about that. So, I went through the, just going through, like, the hashtags, and I would like, and comment. In regards to the posting, I do make sure I give value, but I lead with the lifestyle. And so, just me being a mom, and I don't even have my kids on my page because I am ex-law enforcement, so I do kind of do things a little different because I have to keep that in mind. So I've been able to be a mom without necessarily showcasing my kids. The mailman kind of late without like showcasing my kids. And I would when I first started out, definitely through hashtags, I would go to location. So if you go to locations on your search tab and you put in like clean juice or your local gym or the YMCA or children's place, and people in your area come up. And while we may not like relate to each other with fitness, we may relate to each other with something else. I knew my coach was going to send me a gift. You may relate to them with something else, because if they like clean juice, then they're health conscious, right? I'm sorry, guys. Hi, thank you. Okay. She always sends me gifts. So they're health conscious. If you have kids, they're shopping at Children's Place or going to the Y, and you're just liking their stuff. If they come off directly as like maybe they could be a coach, I don't do the whole forming thing because I feel like you already kind of know what I do. So for me, this may not work for everybody, but for me, it feels kind of fake. So I do it all in one setting. Like I'll like, comment on a few things, and I'll inbox you and say, girl, how did I come across your post? I love your page. I love your content. Have you ever thought about being a fitness influencer? Like, seriously, obviously what you're doing is amazing. It's working for you. But we seem to have a lot in common. Why haven't you thought of something like that? I'm going to look at it directly, what I say. So my invite is like pretty much that day. So this is what it is. This is what I say. Girl, love your page, your content, your drive, everything. Like, why have you not considered being a fitness influencer? I know you're doing your own thing. You're doing an amazing job, obviously. But in addition to that, you could like dominate, keep your brand, but over time, quadruple your income doing exactly what you're doing. And these are people who are already working out, right? Anyway, just thought I'd reach out. I don't know how I came across your page. We seem to have a lot in common. Would you at least like more information? And then for someone who I don't really know, I just say, hey, girl, I don't know how I came across your page, but are you a fitness influencer too? And then that kind of like opens up the conversation. I really dig into my Insta stories. Wherever I go, I'll tag it, but you don't always see it because I minimize it really small because I don't want to seem like I'm so pressed, because I am kind of, but I don't want them to like know. So I always put locations. Then before I go to bed, I go back, click on that location and see who else was there that day. And I'd be like, girl, we was at the same place. I used to lie and be like, I thought I saw you. So I do like the locations, and I do a lot of engagement. Like, y'all, which is your favorite deodorant? Like silly stuff. Like my lips stay chapped, and I'll say, please recommend me a good chapstick. Would you guys recommend this or that? People love to give you advice, right? Like on a call, I would tell people like, hey, if this resonates, like stop being stingy and share it with your friends. Like tag your friend or whatever. And if people answer my poll, I'll be like, girl, did you tag your friend or are you just trying to keep this to yourself? Like I grew up like that. And then so I'm going through all the little steps that I do. And then I go to pages. Like I love This Is Us. So I'll go to like the This Is Us fan page. I love, what is it? Like anything like on A&E or whatever, like The Walking Dead. And so I'll go and I'll look in that friend list and just kind of scroll through like, oh, okay. Like, I like them, whatever. That kind of is more time consuming, but I do that at least once out a week. And then I just started growing my page with STEM Social. So I don't usually tell my newer coaches, I don't really push investing yet because I don't want you to feel like you have to invest to be successful. But as you grow and you have the money, you should invest back into your business. So I do STEM Social, and it's kind of like the old Instagram, but 20 times better. And they kind of pull people from the pages that I frequent. Okay. And then for my call to actions, I actually boost my posts for like $10, right? Because don't get it twisted. Like I make good money, but I got big bills. So I don't like have a lot of money to like invest back in my business. So a little $10 here, whatever. And I keep within my budget. But that is helped also. No, that was a long answer, but that's seriously like what I be doing.
Yeah, that was like way more than I was expecting, but that's wonderful. I tag all the locations, but then I never follow up with them. So I'm like, what's the point in tagging locations? So I like what you did where you're like, hey, I think I saw you there.
Yeah, I tag, and I'll go through and like, and I'll be like, girl, like I'll actually like, hold the open conversation. And it's not all the time that I just hit them with the invite. You have to really like stand out for me to hit you with the invite. If not, like I know I'm going to do a CTA on Thursday. Every Thursday I'm going to do a CTA. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm just trying to get you back to my page, liking my stuff. And then when you see it on Thursday, you may not drop that email this Thursday, but I know you're going to at least watch me, and then you will drop your email because you've watched me, you watched my Insta stories. And then at night, I'll write down a few people who I'm kind of like, oh, I really like her. And I'll make sure that I go to their stories and just comment on them. Because the key is you want them to follow you. You can follow them all day, but if they're not following you, it won't matter. But you know how people used to screenshot when people like show them love and they're like, thanks for the shout out. I'm one of those people who liking like 20 pictures. I'm like in 2010 deep. I don't even know if Instagram was around in 2010, but I want you to like wake up and know who is this girl liking all of my posts. So, and I do it at night, not to get real technical, but this is what I do. I do it at night because I know in the morning, that's going to be the first thing they see versus me doing it at 3 in the day and then my stuff gets mixed in with everybody else's. So I do it at night when everyone's kind of sleeping. So when they wake up, I'm like the first notifications they see.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
Thank you. I took so many notes.
You're welcome.
Do you have any specific time that you post, Artina, or do you kind of post, or do you pick up?
As a new coach, I did. Right now, you know, I've got a good following. If anything, the Beachbody coaches are going to boost my posts at this point. But before that, CTAs between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. Eastern time is when I would do my very important post, or I would do a post around 12 or 1 because I feel like people are going on break. I give like my value post during that time. And Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, I took a training and it said that I can't say S words. Statistics show that people, more people are on social media on Wednesdays at 3. I don't know why 3 o'clock. It's hump day. Maybe they've just checked out of work. I don't know. But I get a lot of engagement when I post at 3. But you know what? I really try not to like get so like consumed with that because there's so much stuff we have to remember anyway. So if I do remember it, good. But if I don't, I don't sweat it.
Awesome.
Because my coaches, like I have 3 coaches that I can just text and say, hey, comment on my post real quick. So I know it'll get boosted back up. Or I'll comment and I'll tag my coach like, Ronnie, did you see this? And she knows what I'm doing. And then she'll comment and that'll boost it back up.
Awesome. So you guys are helping each other to boost it.
Yeah.
Any other questions any questions people have?
Molly.
Hey, so I work like a crazy job. So I'm just wondering like how much time do you think you spend like on working business every day?
So this is one of the things I'm bad at. So I work all day and I really don't have to. Like I just be BSing. Like I need to because I tell my coaches, you can be busy or you're going to be productive. But it's a difference. Like a lot of people claim to be busy, but are you doing income producing activities? And so you know how you just find something funny and then you like 8 posts deep, like laughing and you haven't sent one invite? That is me. And I have 20 tabs open. So on a good day, it would be great to just sit down and block maybe 2 hours because I don't invite every day. Like on Tuesday, I invite like 50 people. And then I spend the rest of the week just kind of following up with those people. So I'm inviting about 200 people a month, but I'm just doing it on that day. Like that is my day. And I know that those 50 people are probably going to be the ones who enroll. Maybe the business isn't in real time. So I always consider everyone who I invited this month is going to sign up next month. Right. So you got to have people in the phone. I know that had nothing to do with your question. But what was your question?
I was just wondering how much time like you think.
Yeah, I thought so, but I wanted to make sure. If you have a crazy work schedule, then you may want to do on Monday, waking up 30 minutes early just to shoot those invites out. And then when you go to bed, stand up 30 minutes late to shoot some more invites out. And then on Tuesday, waking up 30 minutes early and just following up with those people, no invites. And then before you go to bed, stand up 30 minutes later, no invites, follow-ups. And then on Wednesday, maybe like creating your content and your posts. On a day that you're going to be super cute, grab some shirts, go outside and take a bunch of selfies. Like on Sundays, I know I'm going to be cute. So I'll go and grab like 4 or 5 pictures and I'll be like, And if you pay attention on some of my posts, I have these parts. Some of them, my hair is jet black. There are little things that are different, but because I have pictures saved up. So anywhere I go, I'm just taking a bunch of pictures because my page is not in real time. Like the food you may see, I might have took that a whole week ago. So it doesn't have to be, because you're living out your world even on Insta stories. I recycle posts. So if it's a busy day, I'll just go into the archive. There's an archive button and I'll just find it. I'll delete the date and post it like it's new. Work smarter, not harder.
Awesome. I like that. Anyone else have questions? Zakia?
Let me see.
Hi.
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 So when you invite, I actually have two questions. When you invite, do you lead with the business or do you send out like challenge group invites most of the time?
So I invite to the Fit Camp on Facebook and the business on Instagram.
Okay.
Because I don't know, like Facebook, they're kind of funny. Like it's a lot of people that I know. I don't know. I feel more comfortable inviting to people who I don't know because the people who I do know don't really support me. Like the people that I don't know is like the strangest thing. But on Facebook, I just feel like their mindset isn't right. They don't have a business mindset for whatever reason. So I kind of just invite to the Fit Camp, and all of my invites are happy birthday messages. So let me tell you this real quick. So every Tuesday, I go back and I look at people's birthdays from that Thursday to that Monday. And I send them a message. I say, hey, girl, I hope you enjoyed your birthday. Not sure if you've seen my last few posts, but I'm hosting another Fit Camp, workouts you can do from home, and I'm giving first dibs to all my birthday queens. And so it's not a cold invite because you do have a birthday, and I'm giving like first dibs to all my July birthday queens. So it's not like, what? So I do all that. That's where those 50 come from. And then on Instagram, I just started kind of dabbing into the Fit Camp invite, but I don't like personally invite you. I do it in a post, and I say, hey, I'm running 2 groups. Group A, no workouts. Group B, working out 4 days a week, resting 3 days. Drop a yellow heart if you want Group A, a red heart if you want Group B. And then I send them the information from there. And then I go back and Insta stories and I say, hey, not sure if you see my last post, but I'm hosting a Fit Camp. Group A, workout. Group B, which one? And I put the poll. Group A, Group B, and then I send them the message tailored upon which one they chose. That's how I invite to the Fit Camp. I don't do birthdays on Instagram because Instagram doesn't tell me. For the business, yes, I lead with the business. If you don't answer A or B, I'm not just going to like come out and invite you to the Fit Camp, but I will invite you to the business. Okay. And if you don't want to, I always tell my coaches, if they don't want to do it the business, fall back on fitness. But if you don't want to do the business, then I just, I don't really, you already know it's fitness. So you see my posts. I don't really like fall back into it. I just kind of let them go and then just kind of continue that relationship. Yes. Did you put your pull-up on yourself? Good job. Give me 5. Yeah. Did that answer your question, Zakia?
I think so. So you do the cold invites, right? You like, and you then send my invite. You do
for the business.
Okay. And then so if you do invite someone and if they don't respond back to you, is that what your follow-up is? You just want to know if they're interested or not? Or do you
They don't say nothing, whether it's the Fit Camp or the business. If you don't say nothing from that first one, I don't have nothing to follow up with. That's my thing. But if you say, yes, I want more information, then you're going to be getting follow-ups until you say, yeah, like forever. So as soon as they say, yes, I would like more information, I'll send them the next thing. And if it's like a video, I'll come back. And I don't waste a whole lot of time. So if I send it to you at 8 a.m., at 9 at night, I'm like, hey, girl, did you get a chance to watch the video? It's real quick. And if I do forget, the next one, I'm like, hey, girl, just busy trying to get my ladies, settled into the Fit Camp. Everybody's so excited. Sorry, I'm just not following up. Did you get a chance to watch that video? So, okay, baby. Okay. Okay, give me a second. So I do it that way. But I always make sure that at least I try to do within the same day, but if not, definitely the next day.
Okay.
Let me know if I need to like.
Okay, and then what's your, if they don't respond back twice, 3 times, you just get back to them, what's your frequency in terms of?
When I'm trying to get those, and I know they're people and they're not just Success Club points, but I'll be honest, when I'm trying to hit my Success Club goals, that's when I really go back in there and I start following up with everybody. You might not have been on my list, but I'll just go through the messages like, oh, I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I'll just, hey girl, it's been a while since we talked. Is now a better time for you? And I hate doing that because it makes people feel you're just there for that. But honestly, I'm here to help you. I'm just trying to figure out if you need my help this month. But I will encourage, try to find that link in between if you have the time to follow up before that. And follow up doesn't mean in their messenger. Follow up could just be liking their post and say, girl, that is cute. Or, hey girl, or what you been up to. My thing is, if they're pretty, I'll just put, they do a selfie and they're feeling themselves, I put gorgeous. That's my follow-up. I'm still here. Hope you come to my page and find something useful. But I keep following up. But if sent you the message like, hey girl, check out the quick video on Facebook. If I can see that you read it and you still didn't say anything and that was my follow-up, I don't come back again. I don't come back again and send you a request. Because by that time, I followed up with you once. I can see that you've read it. I'm here. Now, if I see where you like my post, then it's fair game. That's like, oh, so you want this. You just, you want this. So if you're not liking or commenting on my post, hey, don't be rude. If you're not liking and commenting on my post, I don't really do a lot. But as soon as you come and like something, it's fair game. We're back to square one. Like, hey, girl, I saw you like my post. Like, what is holding you back? That's my, is she still in here? Yeah, there she is over there. That little piece is so golden because then you're able to figure out what their objection is. And it could just be they thought they had to pay $160 every month. And we don't really know. So I'll say, hey, girl, I saw you like my post. What's holding you back?
I love that question. I ask that question all the time. I'm always like, what is holding you back? Or I've talked to you 1,000 times. What's holding you back right now from taking the next step?
Yeah.
A lot of people do think you have to pay $160 like every month, and they don't realize it's a one-time fee. So just kind of, guys, keep that in mind.
When you ask them what's holding you back and they give you an answer, make sure you say, is there anything else? Because they may have a second objection that you don't even know about, and that may be the thing that takes them, that makes them enroll. Like, okay, she's addressed both of those because we're so good at asking one.
Awesome. I know. Let me see. One question I have for you, just to kind of get it in, as other people think of questions. How are you onboarding your coaches, your new coaches? And then it's a two-part. How are you onboarding your coaches? And like, are you using pods? Are you just putting them into a system that's already in place and they go through it at their own pace? And then the second part is, how are you helping, or kind of like, what's your system to help your coaches rank advance? Are you just kind of like, what's your accountability with your coaches? And is it, so it's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question. Like, let me answer before I get what the second part was. So when they enroll, I send them just a welcome message. If I remember, I'm really bad. I just got a virtual assistant, but I send them a welcome message. I add them into our mentorship chat. So I have a chat, group chat. I add them to our team page, and then I have a mentorship group, which is just training stuff. Whereas my team page is like recognition and announcements. So I add them to that, and then I tag them to my 7-day quick start. And at the end, it says, after you finish, schedule a getting started right call with me. And I don't necessarily like getting on those calls. So I say, well, if you can't get on the getting started right call, each Thursday I do a new coach Q&A. So show up there. And then I just kind of go through everything with them. Because my first year, I was a handholder. Like when they asked me a question, I was like, let me answer. I pretty much just wanted to make it super easy because I didn't want them to quit. But then I developed, people who depended on me. So when I went away, they just didn't know. They're like, what the heck? So now I'm like, all the resources and tools, I've created it in a units tab. And I just let them know, hey, I don't even have all the answers. So look in the units, go to the FAQ. Google is your best friend. And if all else fails, you have the mentorship chat. And I don't answer in the mentorship chat because I want other coaches to step up. So that's my onboarding. That's my onboarding process. You get
real quick, the mentorship chat. How large is that chat? Or do you keep, do you group? Because it can get pretty large, and then
it's super big, but not everyone talks. Right. So a lot of coaches feel like, I don't want it to be big. Well, you better, because it may be only 3 or 4 people talking. If you keep it small, no one's going to say anything. And even though people aren't saying anything, they're watching. So I keep it big. And then when I find those coaches where I feel like, okay, they're runners, they're like, I used to feel like, oh my God, you can't just go out and do this. But I'm like, hey, they just need a little push. If they have questions, you need to be there. And so I have a push to diamond chat. And they feel so good when I add them over there because it's just like, I do answer in that chat. I do answer, and that lets me know like, hey, there's action there. So that is my onboarding. In regards to the ranking, my upline team, we host Emerald and 24-hour thing like every 2 weeks. I have my training is like 7-day quick start, And then I have a video by Chelsea Pearson's husband that talks about how to get to Emerald. And so I tag my new coaches under that. And I don't really put a lot of emphasis on. I'm like, get there. You know, not everybody has a spouse. Not everybody has money to sign up their spouse. I do give them, you know, I let them know about that option, but that's not duplicable. Because then what happens next week? You don't have another spouse to enroll. So I just let them know, hey, like, I really do push discount coaches. I know a lot of people don't. They focus on customers and coaches. But I've built my business through discount coaches. Some of them have converted over to business coaches. Some of them are still just discount coaches. And I just started doing incentives for Emerald. Get a free team shirt, and it's like a sense of belonging. Like, I just reached Emerald, I just got a team shirt, and I don't push Diamond. I've definitely created an Emerald culture within my team, because if you get to Emerald and you get to double Emerald and triple Emerald, and you show somebody else to do it, just 2 more people, then you'll be something else really shiny and special called Diamond. And then just keep doing that over and over again. And so then it's not that hard. I mean, like, get to Diamond, like, oh. But it's like, just get to Emerald, do it again, show 2 more people how to do it. So I just created that Emerald culture. And like I said, I don't focus on Diamond, 2-star, none of that. I just focus on, you got to Emerald, now get to Emerald again. Get to it again.
Okay, awesome. And then for your runners, do you offer one-on-one calls? Are you doing one-on-one calls with anyone or with?
If you have a week's worth of tracking, I offer one-on-one calls to everybody. And the reason I do that is because sometimes, I mean, a lot of my coach, she don't talk to you until you are like heading towards 2-star. Ruth, I've only talked to Ruth on the phone twice. And I've probably gotten on a one-on-one Zoom call with her once. And I'm a 5-star. She really is like, no, go and do it. You have a team call, you have your stuff. But for me, I think about the people who just need just a little bit. They just need a little bit more, And so if you can show me a week's worth of tracking, inviting, following up, I can go to your page and see that you post every single day. Then you could have been a coach for a week. And if you want to get on the call with me, go into Calendly, schedule the call, make sure you send me the tracking stuff before the call, and let me know what exactly are you wanting to discuss on this call, and then we'll get on the call. But most people don't have that. So they don't waste my time. I don't waste theirs. So yeah. I want to look into the chats too, Stephanie.
Yeah, no. Let me see. Irina's asked, wait. First, Chelsea's saying, how do you say no to the people who aren't tracking? Well, I guess you set that expectation.
I don't even have to say it. I'm just like, hey, girl, yeah, definitely if you want to get on the call, but make sure you have at least 1 week of tracking first. If you don't have it this week, try to have it next week, and we'll talk next week. And then some will go and do it, and some they never do, so they never schedule the call.
Irene asked, how many kids do you have? You said potty training. So how do you juggle being, a parent and a businesswoman?
Okay. So I have 8 kids, 3 sets of twins. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I say that. I have 3 kids that feel like 8. Seriously. I have 3 boys. They're 4 years apart. So I have a soon to be 3-year-old. I have a 7-year-old, and I have a soon to be 11-year-old. And it's just me. How do I juggle it? I think one of the reasons why I work all day is because he really is my full-time job. So, like, I just kind of work around his schedule. Like, even when I was breastfeeding, I drink Energize around his schedule. I do my workout around his schedule. I schedule my phone calls around his schedule. But his tail going to somebody daycare come August. Because here's the thing. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Y'all never hear me say that on my calls, none of that. I am the mom where if the daycare opens at 6, you're going to be there at 5:59. If the daycare closes at 7, you're going to stay there to 6:59, maybe 7. I'll pay the late fee. Because I'm one person. Like, I'm a single mom. Like, I have to, like, protect my energy and my peace, even against my children, so I can be a better mom for them. So he'll be going to daycare probably come August, even if it's just 2 or 3 days a week. But for the past 2 years, I have just did everything around his schedule. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Molly's asking, how do you track your follow-ups? I guess they're kind of asking in a sense also, what is your tracking like? But how do you?
So I just got a computer. My team bought me a beautiful Mac in January because I've worked my entire business from my iPhone. So from the past 2 years, I've worked everything from my iPhone using apps. And so I'm a pen and paper girl. Teamzy is not free. So I'm just not computer savvy, and that's an excuse. I can sit down and learn it, but I just haven't. So, a lot of my coaches use Google Sheets, they use Asana, they use Teamzy, but I'm pen and paper. I think my business could be a lot better if I had a better system for tracking. Right now I use a bubble sheet, and my bubble sheet, I don't use it how most people use it, where they just fill in the invites. But I do, I draw a line, I put, okay, here are my prospects. My prospects are at the top. This is like a new one. My follow-up coaches are here. Fit camp people are here. Coaches who hit Success Club or close will be here. And then new coaches is here. And that's kind of like how I track. But then I put a list of people who at least said they wanted more information, at least got a video talking about the fit camp. And I write their name down, and I may put like pregnant. Like I got a sheet where it has everyone who's having a baby. And I make sure to kind of keep up with them. It's a lot of people having babies. So that's like a lot of people in your funnel. If people say next month, I have a next month, because they said next month. I'm like, okay, girl, well, will it be okay if I follow with you then? I'm super busy, so you may not hear from me until then. I say that because I don't want them to think, oh, she's just following up with me because of the fit camp. I am just following up with you because of the fit camp. And I'm letting you know ahead of time, I'm going to be super busy, so you may not hear from me until then, but I look forward to catching back up with you next month when it may be a better time. So I keep track of the next month people. And then if someone says, I have the 15 people, because, people are like, well, I don't get paid to whatever. I'm like, okay, will it be okay if I follow up with you on Wednesday? And I always ask people, is it better to message you here on Facebook, text you, or Gmail? Because I know not everybody's on Facebook. So that has helped. I track people that way. And for the business, everyone fills out my JOT form. And the reason why I use JOT is because it creates an automatic response like, hey, thank you for filling out the form. And then the people who fill out the form, they get a series of emails after that. You guys can go to my Insta stories, go to my link tree, fill it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because I got it from somebody else, to be honest.
Your JOT form, wait, does JOT form have automated emails, or do you have a separate? Oh, I didn't realize.
They do have automated, but I use MailChimp. So JOT will send you emails, and I got it set for like an hour after they fill it out. But I only do that for the business. I don't do it for the fit camp. And then I have a mindful eating accountability group that's like a Google form, and I keep tracking that way because they're forever there. The responses don't go anywhere. So when I'm on a day where I'm like, what do I do? I just go back to that form and I follow up with all those people.
Okay. So you're using, so I didn't realize JOT form had automated. That's good to know because so that's good to know, guys, that JOT form has an automated. Is it paid, or is that the free one that allows the automated?
It's $19.
It's paid.
But I think I paid $19 to remove the logo. I don't even know what I'm paying $19 for. I think it's because I didn't like that logo at the bottom. Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
But, one question I have, because I know you said so you're a fit camp. Do you run an ongoing fit camp? Is your fit camp an overflowing?
Yes,
okay.
I used to try to get everybody to start on a certain day and finish. And I look back and I have like 20 freaking groups on Facebook where I used to try to do that. So now every Monday I'll boost how to make Shakeology posts, how to log into Beachbody, how to do your portion control container. So I boost those important posts. So when I'm making my CTA or talking about it on Facebook, I'll never give a date. I'll say we start soon. We're starting soon. 5 spots left, 2 spots left. We're starting soon. Hurry up. We're starting soon. But soon is really every Monday. And people are like, so are we starting as a group? I'm like, yeah. We start on Monday. There's some people who started ahead of you because you had to wait till the 15th. So that, they went ahead and started. So, next time. But my up line runs just a group for To Be Mindset. So if I enroll someone, hold up, everybody froze. Are we back? Okay. So my upline runs a group just for To Be Mindset. So I'll put people in that group, and then my upline runs a group just for Lift 4. So if you're not doing Lift 4 or you're not doing To Be Mindset, you get put into my community, right? and the community is open for my downline. As long as you're posting in there, because people fall off, and you only have a dead fit camp because you don't have people in it. So I don't need to take nobody out. Everybody's just in there having a good time. I don't know who's active, whatever, because people come back. Like this week, I had like 5 people who hadn't gotten Shakeology in months just came back. And they were like, I'm back, day 1 again. And it was like their 8th day 1. But it's just an ongoing. And then I only have one group for the Challenge Tracker app, and that's Lift For.
Okay. And so you're running your group for your entire downline, or it's just your customers?
For my entire downline.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And then I do encourage them, like, look here, I'm not adding your people to my Challenge Tracker app. You got to do that yourself. Mm-hmm. And then I do encourage them to link up with other coaches, and you guys go and run one together.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of tell when they're like starting to do their own thing and they become success partners, like go run a group with your success partner.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Do you do free groups? Courtney's asking.
Let me tell you, I just feel like free groups attract people who want free stuff all the time. And some coaches are really good with free groups. They're really good at like converting people over from free groups to paid groups. But for whatever reason, my people, they're like, no, this is free. I don't ever want to join. I don't want to pay. And I used, the crock pot group, and I did like a free 7-day butt blast or something, booty pump. And it was just like workouts geared towards the butt and whatever. I don't do free groups. But some of my coaches are successful at it. And some of my people didn't even want to do the free stuff. I tried to offer them like the 14-day free trial, and they didn't even want to do that. So I don't do them anymore. And I feel like as a new coach, my Facebook was a free group because I gave free workouts. I would give recipes. I would give free tips. I would have a workout for every day of the week, a quick little 20-minute workout for them to do. You got to pee? Is there something in your pull-up? What's in there? Oh my gosh. Just take it off, okay? Just take it off. Whew. So did that answer your question? I don't do free groups anymore. But some of my coaches do and are finding success. Do you do free groups, Stephanie?
I don't. I stopped doing free groups for the most part, a long time ago. It was just like a lot of, it all depends on people. Like if some people are really successful at converting, it's a funnel. And so if you like a funnel and you use it to build relationships and you follow up aggressively and you follow up consistently, it absolutely can work.
One thing that I do is that I have an info group. And so I call it my informational group and launch pad or something like that. And I've been doing that for about a year. And so I just created the units where I have 2B Mindset, Lift, 80-Day Obsession, Beachbody on Demand, all the performance lines, Shakeology, Beach Bars, and I have all the information there. And so for my new coaches who don't yet feel comfortable talking about it, they can always just tag them and then follow up with them that way. And okay, baby. And that has helped a lot. And so in that group, I'll like come back and may do a video, and I just may talk about, getting out your own way. And, hey, it's Monday. Just wanted to come and check in on you guys and just giving like some motivation in the info group. So I guess that could kind of be a free group, but I'm just giving, and all my coaches, prospects are in there, future customers are in there, and whenever we have a new program, it's going to be put in there.
I like that because I know we've had success as a team. We've had success with info groups for specific programs, and I know I've heard another team doing that, so I think maybe we can adapt that because I think it does help to have that for the team and to have that for people, like you said, who don't feel comfortable discussing, to kind of combine it all under one and kind of have like a general info group. So I think that's something I can see us adopting. So
okay. Are you planning?
I definitely want to, if there's any more questions, guys, I want to respect Artina's time and not take too much of her time. Is there, one more question? If anyone has a question, Tia has one more question. Go ahead.
This is real quick. So when you enroll people for your fit camp, how often do you follow up with your challengers? Like how much time do you put into them?
So I want to do better at that. I started a file where it says steps after you enroll a challenger. So it's like, okay, week 1, you just let them know, hey, I'm putting you into this group. If you're a discount member, I'm putting you into our team page. Week 2, how did you like Shakeology? Well, week 1 is you'll send them, how do you make Shakeology? Then week 2 is like, how are you liking your Shakeology? How do you feel? Then week 3, if you see that they're posting like, hey, girl, you're doing a great job. Like, have you thought about getting paid to share your journey? You know, and then week 4 is like, hey, how are your results? Have you thought about entering into the Beachbody Challenge for a chance to get your free shirt? That's what I'm supposed to do. In reality, what I do is I enroll you, I put you in the camp. If I remember, and this is so sad, guys, if I remember, I'll come back and say, hey, girl, I didn't want to bother you. How's it going? Because I can't, for the life of me, understand, why don't you contact me? Like I put you in this fit camp. I'm making these videos. I'm present. Why haven't you said something like, hey, girl, I received my package? Nothing. So I don't worry about it. But if you come to me and say, hey, I got my package, I'm excited, then I just kind of pour into you as you know, I meet you halfway, but I just don't have time to run behind you. As a new coach, girl, I was calling, texting, how'd it go? It's day 3, how you feeling? And there was no more success than if I didn't do anything. And then I have some people who out the blue will be like, girl, thank you so much. I'm down 10 pounds. And they didn't post in the fit camp. They didn't let me know they got the package. They didn't let me know they got Shakeology, nothing. So I'm just wondering now, is it even worth it? Like, you know, I'll meet you halfway. Does that make sense?
And I think, and again, just to give you so expectations, guys, are really important. And so if you even for Artina, what I do is I have a welcome video, and that always goes out to every customer. And every one of you on here can make your own welcome video. You're an Emerald coach. It's just a hi, how are you? And that's where you can put in there, like Artina says, it's like, hey, the ball's in your court. This is your journey. I'm here for you. You know, make sure that you reach out to me. You have to be very specific and set those expectations up front with your customers and your coaches. And even in my welcome email, it's really important. You have to highlight and let them know what specifically you want. And I will tell them to reach out to me, or, let me know when you get your program, or, so just making sure that you're setting expectations, and all of you, again, should have a video. I would encourage you, not should, I would encourage.
Let me say this. This is what I do. So I have this post, and it says, when women support other women, incredible things happen. And in the caption, it tells them, hey, you got your package. Make sure you take it before and after. Here's the link to the Challenge Tracker app. Here's how to get on Beachbody On Demand. So all of that is in the group. So when I do enroll someone, I go under that post and say, welcome, Molly. And then Molly will see where the people above her said where they were from, why are they doing this, what program they're going to be doing, what type of Shakeology they're drinking. So not only am I welcoming them to the fit camp, but I'm also letting them know this is how this group is going to be ran, and I'm here if you need me, and my number is up top. So it's just like, if ever you thought with Dad, she just, sold me something, I didn't hear from her. No, you didn't read. I put it in there, the number's there, we're all grown, now if I see that you're posting, that's even more reason for me not to necessarily reach out, because we're talking within the fit camp, because you're already posting. And then I don't want them to think that's what becoming a coach is. So I don't want the busy moms in there who are thinking about becoming a coach thinking, well, dang, I don't have enough hours in the day to be talking to people every day. They're like, well, Artina doesn't talk to me every day aside from this, so I could do this.
Yeah, that's good too. You lead by, I always tell people I'm in the trenches with you. That's my coaching. You see me posting, you know how to reach me, but I'm here with you to offer you the motivation and the inspiration. And
yeah.
And it's the same thing. The same thing happens with me, that people do their programs. They don't let me know. They email me, hey, I lost 30 pounds. And I'm like, oh, great. This is fantastic.
And these are some great questions, because it's reminding me of things that I don't do anymore. Because you get so caught up in the other stuff.
Yeah.
And the day goes by so fast. Like what the heck? It's 11 o'clock already. So this is reminding me okay, I need to I forgot I did that. You know, like I might need to do that again.
Yeah.
I'm reading the chat.
You're just saying what they're doing.
Yeah, these are some good questions though. I also did one. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Artina.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like walking around. It's just my kid I tell him to go sit down, but if he gets too quiet, then I'm like, what are you doing? Because you're too quiet. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I definitely want to, let you go. And if you guys have any other questions, I'm happy to stay on and answer any other questions. But I want to respect Artina's time. It's 7:58. And again, Artina, if you ever need me to hop on, you're always so gracious with your time.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna schedule that.
If you need,
I'm about to jump on my team call like at 8:00. So, all right. I enjoyed talking to you, ladies.
Bye, Artina.
Bye, girl.
And if you guys have any other questions for me, I'm happy to answer any. Specifically with bringing on the challenge. Again, I have that. I just have a simple system. I follow up with my challengers once a week for the first 4 weeks through email or through Messenger, and then it goes to every 2 weeks, just basically like 2 weeks out, and then it just goes out to monthly. And once they get to monthly, it's just part of my Teamsy or part of my regular follow-up system. And it's literally just a, hey girl, how are you? Just checking in. How are things going? If I see they're very active in the challenge groups, and again, you guys see how hard it is to get people active in challenge groups. It's not an easy thing. And it's one of those things where it's like, you just have to encourage people and remind them to post and say that, I want to see your energy, and your energy really does matter to us. And it really, and it helps with your own accountability as well. So it's just that gentle reminder to people to get them to show up and be there. And is there one big takeaway you would take from this chat with her? That's a good question. Anyone have one big takeaway that you would take away from your chat with Artina? I mean, I would say follow up. I would say following up is key, guys. And I think you heard it over and over in her messaging. She is super, and I don't like to use the word aggressive, but she's super consistent with following up. It's the same thing with me. We're very consistent with following up. And I honestly think that's why there's been a lot of success, because, and I like what she said, that who you're sowing today is for next month or 2 months from now or 3 months from now. And that's how you have to realize that you're sowing today. You're even right now, I'm leaving for Greece. I'm leaving for Croatia this weekend. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of August. And I'm right now, I'm thinking I need to start sowing my seeds so that I, over this next week, start using my polls, start getting people, so that I have people to follow up with, come when I'm away, and I don't it's because I know I'm going to be showing pictures. So I'm thinking ahead, and I'm starting to think ahead. And so, yeah, someone like follow up is, yeah, it is. So following up and having, no excuses is I would say key. So just making sure that you guys are doing that, and I love her attitude of not worrying about people's opinions because they're not paying her bills. That's what Chelsea says. Yeah, it's true. And that's the key. You have to take the emotion out of this and realize that at the end of the day, it's when people are ready, they'll decide if it's for them. And I love what she said, that remember that people are busy and people may be looking at your message, while they're grabbing something from their baby or something. And I think I'm going to start using that when I'm talking to coaches and telling them about that, because I used to just say it's because I'm always busy and I always am looking at messages when I'm in the emergency room, and I may be in the middle and I may not remember. And so it's just remembering that and helping other coaches remember that you need to really follow up and not take it personally if you don't hear from people, and just really go for that no. And I hardly get a hard no. And I always now ask for a follow-up. I will say, do you mind if I follow up with you in 3 months or 2 months? And everyone says yes. And then guess what? I'm following up with them in 2 months and 3 months. It's part of I use Teamsy because otherwise, and I use a combination of Teamsy and pen and paper, because it's worth the investment for me. It reminds me, but whatever follow-up system you have is fine. As long as you have something. I also like that she only follows up once if they read it and didn't respond. unless they like her picks, then it's fair game. Yeah. She basically said like, if you're liking her, you're following her. So that's really, so you want what she has is what she said. So she'll keep following up with you. So that's really key too. And so it's, again, you can see, and she even said like 10, I don't know if you noticed in the beginning, she said, I'm going to 10X, that's what Chelsea's doing right now, what she's been doing for the past couple weeks, because she knows she's going to go back into school season. So she's been 10Xing, 20Xing her game so that she, just really getting that momentum, taking advantage of that momentum, because she knows, time is going to be limited again. So she's not going to have the same freedom and that the same time to be able to devote. So it's really that consistency and in the same activities, guys, to be honest, right? It's like those of you who've been in this for a while, it's the same activities every single month. That's why you have to really enjoy it. That's why you have to really, find, it's not something hard to do. It's just that mundane kind of everyday activities over and over and over again. So yeah. And then guys, the units, remember guys, we have the units in our team page and they work. They work and they work for the motivated person. So realize that, it's like I have a new coach who she'll probably listen to this, Cindy. I just spoke to her yesterday for the first time. Our schedules haven't been able to sync up, but she did the units and she hit Emerald on her own and she followed it. And it gives me confidence that the system is there for the person who wants to take advantage of it. And again, because you'll always question, but you'll always want to question yourself when you're like, do I have the system? Do I have the system? It's there for the person who wants to go through it. So make sure you're tagging your coaches, make sure that they understand. Even now when I get a question, if I know there's a unit for it, I just go right to the unit and I tag them and I say, this is where your answer is. And so just make sure you're utilizing that. And if you ever want anything in there, just post it in the group. And, and if you're an admin, you should be able to add it to the unit. So let me know if you want to be an admin, if you're not already an admin in the team page. And then you can add, because my goal is that we're going to have transformations in there, all of, our key inviting scripts. And then I'm going to put in that Emerald to 24-hour Emerald that I know which video she's referring to by Rob Pearson. So I'll add that in there as a resource for people who want to, do it. And I do like that idea of the info group, which I knew already. I just had not had it. She reminded me about that, of the info group for the team. So awesome. Any other questions? We have a sneak peek this week. So make sure you're promoting for the business. We're going to do Wednesday and Thursday sneak peek this week. And you guys are doing really, really awesome. So just, there's a lot of momentum in the team. There's a huge momentum in the team. And I think it's just everyone's really working really hard. And yeah, awesome. This is great. You guys, a lot of you guys came on. This is really, really awesome. All right. Anything else? Awesome. All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and thank you so much. And I will post this on my YouTube in case you have someone who hasn't listened to it. It'll be on my YouTube. All right, guys. Bye.